beautiful. So beautiful. Just to let you know who's with us today, Rebecca Abraxas is doing our music today. And Eustaine Talley is doing our prayers for today. And if you'd like to pray with Eustaine after service, you are welcome to do that, or leave a prayer request in the prayer box in the back. And Ken Reinhardt has everything organized. Thank you, Ken, because we're doing different things today, so I appreciate you. And all of you, I welcome all of you to be here. I think this will be a wonderful service that we get a chance to remember our loved ones, some of which are here physically on earth with us that we're honoring, and some of which are here in spirit. So thank you for being here. And just know that no matter what your background is from your faith or what sexual orientation you are, everybody is always welcome to all of our Sunday services, all of our classes, all of our events. So thank you for being here. And I'm Lori Smith. I'm the spiritual leader here at Unity on the Avenue. It's my honor. And we can go ahead and say our statement of faith, so please join me. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Good morning. So I'm Eustaine, and I'll be praying with you this morning. So I'd like for you to just relax and sit in your chairs, allowing the chair to fully support you. Allow your feet to come in contact with the earth as we receive wonderful energy from our Mother Earth. And also, I'd like for you to direct your attention to the very top of your head and feel that energy. Feel that Christ energy in filling your body, in filling your space. Rest in that space and know that you are whole. You are always whole, and now we have recognition of the wholeness that we are. Today is a day of remembrance. Today we remember all of those who have come before us, going back centuries, but especially we remember the people who have kept us safe, and that includes the military, our veterans. Some of them we've brought with us here today and picture them. Others of them we carry in our spirit. We carry all of those who we brought to remember today. And as we think of the East and face East, we invite remembrance to come to us. As we face the South, we know that this is the direction of connection with our ancestors, with our earth. As we face the West is our openness, and we are open. As we face the North, we go forward. We go forward with all the energy, with all the thoughts, and all the love of our ancestors. And now we return our energy and our attention to this room and this place. And we ready ourselves to participate in this type of worship with each other. And we are grateful for everyone who is here. And so it is. Amen.
I am one in the Spirit. I am one with the source. I am one with the Spirit, one with the source. Oh, 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 oh. I am loved by the light. I am loved by a source. I am loved by light. I am loved by a source. Oh, 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 oh. I hear my guidance from the living source. I hear my guidance from the living source. Oh, 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 oh. I am healed from my past. I release, I let go. I am healed from my past. I release, I let go. Oh, 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 oh. I walk with my spirit. I walk with my source. I walk with my spirit. I walk with my source. Oh, 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 oh. All is well in my life when I put my source first. All is well in my life when I put my source first. Oh, 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 oh. I remember the people who gave and served. I remember the people who gave and served. Oh, 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 oh,
So today, the title of this talk is Forever in Our Hearts, and we're remembering people that were important to us in the past, but also some people that are with us today. So I know that sometimes that can be heavy in our hearts, and so I'm going to lighten it up with a joke. So a famous admiral and an equally famous general were fishing together when a sudden storm hit. When it died down, both renowned warriors were struggling helplessly in the water. The admiral kind of floundered his way, got into a boat, and pulled himself in painfully, and then he used his oar to pull the general out of the water. Catching his breath, he puffed, "Please don't say a word about this to anyone. If the Navy found out that I can't swim, I'd be disgraced." And the general says, "Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. I'd hate to have my men find out I can't walk on water." So tomorrow actually is Memorial Day, but it's Memorial Day weekend. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how this all came to be. May 30th, 1868 was Decoration Day, and it was designated for the purpose of honoring Civil War veterans that had died in the war. Americans were encouraged to decorate the graves with flowers and flags. And this picture actually really struck me because I was thinking about the soldiers who were also grieving for the people that they served with. So that's why we have that particular picture. But this special day of remembrance for fallen soldiers became known as Memorial Day during World War I. And it continued to commemorate American military personnel who had died in all of the wars. So today we honor all Americans that gave their lives to protect us and our freedoms, and we remember the men and the women that served in the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Marines, the National Reserves, Airmen of Tuskegee, thank you, Women's Army Corps, the Women's Air Force Service pilots, the Navajo Code Talkers. There were many people from many different backgrounds that fought for our freedom. In 2000, Congress passed the National Moment of Remembrance Act, asking people on Memorial Day to stop and remember at 3 o'clock their local time. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. to remember the sacrifices that people have made for our freedoms. And I have so much gratitude for their courage and dedication to protect us. So tomorrow at 3, let's pray for all people who have or are experiencing war all over the world, and we can hold a vision of peace. So many men and women called to service gave their lives, and many returned home with physical and emotional injuries due to wartime experiences, some as prisoners of war. Some people are heroes for us and for our communities that have never served in the military, and we'll be honoring one of those people. So just remembering that some of these people are with us physically, and some of these people are here in spirit. So I would like to invite our community to come up to the chaplain's stand to say the name of the person you would like to remember. They can be a person that served in the military, or they can be a person that's a hero in your life. If you would like to, just tell us your relationship to them and maybe a couple of sentences about why they are special to you. If you have a photo that you haven't already placed up here, you can place it up here. And then you can also light a candle for them, just to honor them. So just put the candle in the sand. You can have a seat. So anybody can kind of take a turn to do that. This week, I wanted to let you know I have been hearing stories about courageous, loving men and women in our lives. And I know that everyone doesn't have a photo, and that's okay. But if you just want to say a few words, you are welcome to do that. And just someone you want to acknowledge, appreciate for their service and gifts they offer to make the world a better place. So Justine has offered to be the first person.
So this is Miriam, and she was my mother's mother, and so I honor her today. The other person I would like to honor today, I've never spoken her name in this space before, but I honor my daughter. I brought a picture of her as an 11-month-old. She'd been walking about 2 months at this time. So this is one of my favorite pictures of Monica Elaine Jackson. Thank you.
This is my father, Bob. When he was about 17, he dropped out of high school and joined the Army. And he liked to joke that he spent more time doing punishments and tours and in the brig than he did on patrol, but that wasn't true. He just was a little bit of a rogue, and he was a young man. But he served honorably for, I think, 3 years, the minimum enlistment. And he was always proud of that service, and he was also patriotic. And so I think that rubbed off on me, and I'd like to honor him today. Thanks. Father, Robert Larson.
This morning, I would like to honor members of my family. I don't have any current pictures, but I'm thinking back, these are people who, my first one is my great-great-uncle who was born in 1886, and he served in World War I. And he was private, R.V. Gardner. The second one served in the World War II, and he was private. Johnny Young was my grandfather. And then there was my Uncle Julius. He served in World War II as well. Oh, and by the way, he was in the Navy. The previous two were in the Army. And my dad, he served in the Korean War, and he was in the Air Force. He was Captain John James. My Uncle Kenneth served in the Vietnam War. He was a Lieutenant Kenneth Adams. And then I like to call this person my bonus dad. His name was William, he always liked to say this, William Patrick Kennedy, Master Sergeant. He was very proud of that. He served in the Army. And when I think about, like I say, our family, we were blessed that everyone returned home. But all these people were from a generation when they didn't speak about they called them their brothers, their fellow band members, the ones that did not return home. So I would like to hold all these people in our hearts because we're all touched by on this particular day. And as I go back to my uncle, my uncle who served in World War I, back then when I was growing up, we called it Decoration Day. And all the graves in the cemeteries were decorated. And like here at Fort Logan, there were flags that were put out, and then they would pass out the little poppies as a remembrance of everyone that served in the military. So I honor all of my ancestors today.
I would like to honor all of the people in my family who served in the military, beginning with my great-grandfather, who was a freed slave from North Carolina, and he joined the Union Army in Indiana the last 13 months of the Civil War. I would also like to honor a great uncle of mine who fought in World War I on my dad's side. I have a photo of my dad there, who was also in World War II. He and another brother served in World War II. My dad was the radio man on a ship that would go out in the Coast Guards and look around for the U-boats, the German boats who were in the Atlantic. I have a picture of my mother's youngest brother who served in the Army, and he was in Germany. And at that time, the troops were segregated, but however, he did have a chance to help liberate some of the concentration camps there in Germany. And so my mother, she raised me.
I would like to honor my mom and my dad, both of who were in the Army, Korean War, World War II. I think that's it. I don't have any pictures, but I'd like to tell the story about my mom. She, God, when people say your mother wears combat boots, my mother did wear combat boots. And she told me stories about having water in her helmet and having a bar of soap and washing her face, washing her hands in the tents in France during World War II. You know, living the tent life and the real hardcore. She was in the MASH unit, actually. Just like, you know, Alan Alda, MASH. My mom was, she liked to say, Hot Lips Houlihan. Yeah, that was my mom. And she also told me a story about how on the 9th of December, 1945, how when General Patton was in the Jeep accident and he broke his neck, he was in a limousine trying to speed across the train track and plowed right smack into Oh, am I getting it wrong, Donnie? Oh, no, it's just train track. Oh, you were shaking your head. I thought I got something wrong. No. Okay. Anyway, he broke his neck on the 9th of December, 1945. He was taken to a hospital in Mannheim, Germany, where my mother was one of the first nurses to take care of him. And also, my dad was in the Army too. He got signed to join the Army so he could leave home from Alabama, where he grew up. He had to go leave home, join the Army, and he met my mother in Hokkaido. That's where they got married, 1951. And then my dad was stationed back here at Fitzsimmons in the States in 52. So actually, I was made in Japan, if you look at it that way. I like to think that. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to honor my parents today because both of them were full military career. My mom was Air Force also, but both of them were Army, so.
This is my dad, Jim Smith, and he was in World War II from 1939 to 1945 when the war ended. He was the chief aviation mechanic in the Navy, and he was actually en route to Hawaii on a troop transport when Pearl Harbor got hit. So he got there, he arrived 4 days after Pearl Harbor had been bombed. So when they arrived, they lost all their paperwork. So he ultimately ended up staying in Hawaii at Kaneohe, which is on the other side of the island. And he retired when the war ended. They gave him some options. He was going to make it a career, and then he decided better do something else. So anyway, he was an awesome man, died at 100 years old, and just a cool dad.
So thank you all for sharing your photos and your stories about your loved ones. We're grateful for all that they gave to make the world a better place, and we thank them for their service. I want to tell you about a couple people that I want to honor. I'm going to talk about my dad's brother, older brother Morris. It's the large picture over here. He went to serve in the Korean War when he was 19 years old. He was a member of the military police in the Army, and he doesn't talk about his experience much, except that he said he spent a couple of really cold winters there. He returned home to marry his high school sweetheart. They've been married, I think, about 70 years now. And he recently celebrated his 92nd birthday. So he is alive and well with us, and I want to honor him he is such a good man. And he is such a wonderful uncle. And when my dad passed, he was so helpful and loving and supportive to me. I really appreciate him. And I thank him for his service to his country and to his family. I also want to honor a special woman who is part of our congregation. Marilyn Ellis was recently recognized by the Volunteers of America, Colorado. They wrote a story on her whole life, and I made copies of it because a few people had asked me about it. They're in the back on the cabinet, but I'll move them to that table if you'd like to pick one up and read about her life. It's amazing. She volunteered with Volunteers of America for over 18 years. She also volunteered at the Museum of Nature and Science since 1992. That's 33 years of service for her community. For 13 years, she also volunteered at Rose Hospital. Marilyn has been a member of PEO, which is Philanthropic Educational Organization, for 54 years. They raise money to support women's education, and she is a hero for the community. So I want to honor my uncle and Marilyn. special time. Thank you all for sharing. So when we look around, we see heroes all around us, ready to save the life of a stranger and at times putting their own lives in danger to do it. Every day they work to make our community stronger and safer. And being a hero isn't about the uniform you wear or the physical strength, it's having a heart to serve people. Officer Ernesto Betancourt, was recognized with the Police Department Meritus Award for bravery. He had requested aid, and residents had begun to evacuate this building that was on fire, but he worried there were still people on the second floor. So in an act of courage, he entered the burning apartment and found 3 members of a family who had not been able to get out, and thanks to him, all 3 evacuated safely and survived the fire. At the Las Vegas shooting, where Fire Captain Mark McCurdy got his wife and injured sister-in-law to safety, and then went back to search for another fire captain's wife who had been separated. And then shortly after arriving home from this tragedy, he received a call to fight in a Ventura wildfire. So he didn't let the recent experience stop him. For 13 and a half days, McCurdy and his crew worked to control the blaze and save local residents. About 5 years ago, the coronavirus outbreak impacted our whole world. Healthcare professionals experienced the gratification of healing some patients and saving their lives, but also lost many battles along the way. And on top of that, many medical personnel even sacrificed their own lives in the line of duty. So every day, these heroes show their compassion and their heart. And may we always show them respect and kindness when we see them at work in our communities. Their selfless acts and devotion for our safety can present even hardships for their families too. During the Vietnam War, many of my friends and I purchased these prisoner of war bracelets. So they had the name of someone who was a prisoner of war, and we wore that proudly, and also prayerfully that they would return home safe. And the one that I had sent me a picture of him and his family running out to him. And I was so thankful he came home, but it really helped me to understand what's happening in the war and what was happening with the families of the people that were off fighting the wars. So we want to extend our kindness and our support of them, the families, as well. We have gratitude for all who have given so much, and they are forever in our hearts. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. May your Memorial Day be reflective of those who have made it possible. So if we look at the lives of the people we admire and appreciate, we see their virtues and the values that they live by, and we can embody those special qualities. We need to live our values, which is Unity's 5th principle. Knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. The goal for us is to live consciously in the awareness that we are the divine in expression, and we take action as guided by our inner being. Living the truth is about how we show up for whatever we choose to do. It's about acting from a consciousness of spirit in service for the soul. As I looked through these Memorial Day pictures preparing this PowerPoint, I saw the birth dates and the dates of death, the veterans, for the death of the veterans. And I was reminded of a poem, The Dash by Marilyn Ellis. The line between a person's birth and death dates on their tombstone represents the entire life that they lived. Ultimately, what really matters is compressed into one tiny line. That dash represents the time we spend doing what we love in life. It's not about how much we own. It's not about the cars, the house, the cash. It's about engaging in the activities that matter the most to you. Loving our family and friends, service, prayer. At the end of the dash, what really matters the most to you? Are you opening your heart and mind to allow Spirit to lead you to live your life to the fullest? So this poem encourages us to remember to show appreciation, respect, and love as readily as possible. So this is The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? I love this poem. It reminds us that we have opportunities right now to make the most of our lives, and why it's so important to live life to the fullest and to be the greatest version of who you've come to be. Sonia grew up in a military family. Her father was a U.S. Air Force soldier and former prisoner of war. As her family moved from one assignment to another, she was often around the soldiers, and she loved their spirit and their dedication. And her faith in God ended up leading her to Unity Village, where she worked for Unity Prayer Ministry before pursuing her seminary education and Unity ordination. Her love of country led her to a career as a U.S. Army chaplain. Wherever she was stationed, she asked the Unity to send her numerous copies of Daily Word, and she would pass those out to everyone. And she said that soldiers were eager to receive them and cherish them. They found inspiration in the affirmative messages, helping them to believe in themselves and their ability to do whatever they were called to do. She heard thousands of stories of soldiers who had acted upon divine guidance, sometimes at a moment's notice. One soldier, she identified as TT, described standing in the doorway of his tent when he heard the roar of his inner voice yelling, "Move." He moved seconds before the tent exploded. The blast wounded him, but he survived. Another soldier, she identified as BL, heeded his inner guidance to roll quickly into a shallow ravine, and doing so hid him from a squad of enemy soldiers who jumped over the ravine without even noticing he was there. Sonia's 22-year career as a minister and a chaplain gave her the opportunity to devote her professional life to soldiers. Her work required her to reassure each individual that God is in and around them every moment. even during moments of danger or loneliness. In fact, the most frequent request she received was, "Pray with me, chaplain." Honoring soldiers' strength and courage inspired her chaplaincy and will bless her always. She thanks Divine Spirit for the sacred privilege of serving soldiers and her country. The best way to show appreciation for those who have given so much to us is to live our values, support one another, and to advocate for those who cannot stand up for themselves. In whatever way we are led by Divine Spirit to contribute to the lives of others. The impact of how heroes live will be felt for generations to come. And when we think of serving future generations, let's focus on ways that we can promote and participate in the betterment of society and nurture bonds of community and compassion. Unity Worldwide Ministries read their Statement of Social Action position at the Winter Summit in February this year, and it speaks to the actions we take for the communal well-being. And while well-being is often referred to as an individual wellness, communal well-being speaks to interconnection and our shared capacity to flourish together. I was so inspired by this statement. Just wanted to share a few highlights, but I did place a few copies at the back of the church because I thought you might like to read it. One of the most important statements is, "Our collective wisdom and creativity combine to bring freedom, peace, love, equity, and justice into the world in ways we cannot imagine when we are working in solitary. We are stronger together." Our commitment to social action means we are committed to inspiring and encouraging each other in expressing our divine nature moment by moment, choice by choice. It means we are called to make a difference in our larger communities, to serve, awaken, support, and partner with anyone who faces injustice and oppression. Unity is committed to caring for our earth home and environmental sustainability. Unity strives to foster a climate of purposeful inclusion, standing for everyone's right to create a life of their own choosing. Where there is oppression and hatred, we pledge to be an advocate for the well-being, respect, and civil freedom of every human being. We are stronger together when we recognize the interconnectedness and interdependence of all life. This is the foundation on which we stand, to demonstrate and live our commitments to freedom, peace, love, equity, and justice, our communal well-being. So I wanted to read a really beautiful blessing that Penny pointed out to me from Thich Nhat Hanh as we think about our oneness. I am my ancestors, playing my part in the immortality of my ancestors. Breathing in, I see the stars and galaxies in me. I am consciousness manifesting as cosmos. I am made of stars and galaxies. Breathing out, I smile to the stars in me. I play my part in the immortality of clouds, rain, stars, and the cosmos. Smiling to the stars and the galaxies in me, playing my part in the immortality of stars and cosmos. Breathing in, I see that nothing is created, nothing is destroyed, everything is in transformation. I see the nature of no birth and no death of matter and energy. I see that birth, death, being, and non-being are only ideas. Breathing out, I smile to my true nature of no birth and no death. I am free from being and from non-being. There is no death. There is no fear. I touch nirvana, my true nature of no birth and no death. Nothing is created. Nothing is destroyed. I am free from being free from non-being. So let's just take that oneness into meditation. I just ask you to relax in your chair. Take in a few deep breaths. Just rest your eyes if that's comfortable. Just with each breath, inhale and exhale slowly, relaxing more deeply with each breath. Allow your breath to find its own natural depth and rhythm, allowing your breath to quiet the mind and still your body, letting go of concerns or any worries, and just releasing all tension. Shift from your head to your heart. You feel the sacred space of the presence of the Holy Divine Spirit. A sense of pure peace and comfort washes over you. The creative process of the universe is streaming, pouring radiance into you and expanding out to fill the sanctuary with love and light. With an open heart, Spirit is welcomed to lead, to guide me to the greatest version of myself. Bring into your awareness someone or something you deeply appreciate. It could be a family member, a life partner, beloved friend, a pet, or a fond memory. As you bring those feelings of gratitude and appreciation into your awareness, just allow those feelings to arise and extend beyond your body, filling this sanctuary and connecting in oneness. In this consciousness of connection and oneness, we rest in the silence for a moment. Begin to become aware again of our environment, the seat beneath you, the sounds of the birds around you. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Slowly open your eyes. A deep feeling of gratitude fills your soul for this sacred moment of connecting with Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. We are one now, we are one now, we are one now, we are one.
So now is the time for our offertory blessing. And there are many ways to help Unity on the Avenue. You can use cash or check, or we have a square in the back. We have a button on our phone where you can donate. And just know that we appreciate so much everything that you give to Unity on the Avenue in our spiritual community. And the most important thing I always feel in my heart is you being here. Your energy, your love, your support for each other. I feel is such a blessing to all of us. So we can, please join me in our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Choices made to rise above fear, dying with honor but shed some tears. The stories may slip into the past, the light of the courage still lasts. The young hearts step into their part. It all began with one brave heart. We are one, we are one. We give thanks to all that's been done. And we rise from the ashes of the cries. We rise from the ashes of the cries. Looking back to all they've been through, there's so much I don't think I do, but their legacy brought us here with family and friends we hold so dear. I tip my hat to all they gave, remembering the souls they saved. We are one, we are one. We give thanks to all that's been done. And we rise from the ashes of the cries. We rise from the ashes of the cries. We are one, we are one. We give thanks for all that's been done. And we rise from the ashes of the cries. We rise.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Let's go over our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are one, we are one. We give thanks for all that's been done. And we rise from the ashes of the cries.